Hello, my name is Rob Gowan. I'm in Level 1 Electronics, and I'm doing my project on solar power and solar energy. Solar energy is the energy of the future. It is an alternative to the electric company. Solar power is a renewable resource that will always be around. The sun produces photons, which can also be used as electrons. The sun is the largest source of energy that we know of. Before recently, we have not been able to harness the power of the energy of the sun. But then the knowledge of semiconductors and silicon came to light. There are two layers on the silicon, the positive and the negative. The sun rays come into the silicon, and when the photons come through, it knocks loose, creating electrons. The electricity is then transferred into a battery bank. This right here, we have a 12-volt battery bank. Then this can be run through a converter box. The converter box will up the voltage from 12 volts up to 120, which can then be worked into your household, light switches, outlets, which will all run off of 120 volts. Okay, so here we have our circuit. 120 volts is coming from a 120 volt converter box. Now let's just say that 100 ohms is going to be the total amount of resistance in this entire circuit. Now, here's your properties of Ohm's law. This says resistance is equal to your voltage divided by your current. Your current is equal to your voltage divided by your resistance, and your voltage is equal to your resistance times current. Also, we have how you can find your wattage or your power down here. That says that watts is equal to your voltage times your current. Now, like I said, here's our 120 volts from our battery bank and 100 ohms. So you would have to take these two, divide 120 by 100. Over here's the work, come out to be 1.2 amps. Okay, so here we are. There is no voltage here. Instead, we have our current and our resistance. So using this one here, you multiply resistance by our current to find your voltage. If our current is 1.2 amps, we're going to take 1.2 times your resistance here, which is 1,000, and you end up getting a voltage of 1,200 volts. That's your circuit. Alright, so just as a summary here, we have our solar panels, which are made of two different parts of silicon, your negative plates and your positive plates. As the sunlight comes through the silicon, it knocks loose the photons and transfers them into electrons, which is then brought down to a battery bank. Battery bank can either be just used like regular, or it can be sent to a converter box, which will step up the amount of voltage to however much you want. Your normal amount is 120 volts. That can then be run in through your house. And then here is you have your Ohm's law, resistance, current, voltage, and your wattage. And here's the work of doing it all out. Finding your voltage by just using your current and your amount of resistance.